Welcome, everybody. It's your boy, the Versace Stoner, and we're here with a very special episode of VSW. We're gonna give in a chime to Disable Wolf, and tonight we're gonna be talking about the PWI 500. Um, it is something that comes out every year by Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And it's been it says it's number one yearly ranking system since 1991. The magazine has also been out much before that, though. Really is starting to really take shape into the independent scene as they're starting to recognize titles and more and more things. So, we're gonna go over it. Let me give him a ring and see if he's available here.
Hello.
Is this the Sable Wolf?
Disable he.
Very good. I'm just talking to the people, telling them we are going over the PWI 500 on this first episode. We'll cover the last 100. Um, and this is basically wrestling's, well, it says number one yearly ranking system since 91. They've been putting out, the ranking system. This is the 31st year of doing so.
Wow.
And yeah, that's a long time for a magazine to even be running. That's actually, WWE magazine isn't even still running. So the fact that they are, it's pretty amazing. But we're gonna hop into it. We're gonna talk about some of these guys. Some of these guys you know. Some of these guys I know. Some of them, we've probably seen very, very, very close up. You'll be surprised. So let's dive right into it, shall we?
Absolutely.
Number 500 is Lulu Pencil.
Not
Home
too familiar with her
Pro
work.
Motion. Katoa move. Trained by Emi Sakura and Mei Suruga. Competed in a 30-minute Iron Man match against Chris Brooks. Journalist turned wrestler. Has won the hearts of fans on Goto Moves Choco Pro series despite bleak win-loss record, has shown promise in successful tag outings. Pretty interesting.
Definitely.
Like I said, I'm not familiar with everybody on this list. This is obviously the whole list of the independent scene and major wrestling scene all through I believe, the world. I don't think it is just U.S. I believe Japan is covered, and UK maybe as well. Other places.
They're from around the world. A lot of wrestling has come from like Japan, Mexico, England, very
Yeah,
much more than the US of A.
yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll keep on going. The number 499, Kaya McKenna.
The good witch, eh?
Trained by Seth Rollins and Mark Brave. Good witch, you were right. Displayed impressive technical ability after debuting last July. Lost to Holodead at Fight Forever. Picked up wins at Camp Leapfrog and WWR Plus. Seemed poised to do well in ECWA Women's Super 8 before suffering a shoulder injury.
She just appeared in AEW Dark Elevation too.
She did. Did we see it when we went out to Camp Leapfrog?
She was injured. I think we saw her like make a segment, but we did see her in WWR.
Okay, yeah. I thought so. I really did. Great talent, like I said, hopefully for a speedy recovery. See more of her.
Absolutely. I really hope to see more of her in the coming years. She could be a force to be reckoned with. A good witch, there's no such thing as a good witch for a lot of people. So we all know the Wicked Witch of the West, but she's the opposite of that, eh?
Yes, most certainly, most certainly. Okay, number 498. Here's a guy we know, Robin Martyr, the
The Poison
South
Youth.
City Stretcher, Poisoned Youth, young grapplers already compete on MLW Fusion, for Maine's Limitless Wrestling and at Action Wrestling in Georgia. Challenged Dominic Garini at IWTV's Family Reunion, defeated MV Young in the GCW debut. He was a former referee, showing promise after ditching the zebra stripes. When we met him, he was cool as a cucumber. I mean, we saw him up in Maine. We talked to him a little bit. He was very friendly. He put on a great match that show. We watched him on the road.
He has some memorable classics with JD Drake on Limitless.
He does. And then I even believe it or not, I ran into him when I was at GCW's Fight Club there. He was actually hanging out um around Starboy Charlie, which was kind of cool. I recognized him, so I was like, "Hey, what's up? How you doing, Robert?" But yeah, a lot is gonna come out of that kid. I mean, especially in these promotions like GCW. If he comes back to Maine, um, I haven't seen him in. Was he? He wasn't on Fresh Blood, was he? No,
No, he wasn't.
no, but probably due to conflict of schedule. But I believe when we do see him back, I mean, he is a very good talent. I really like to see what's coming out of him, and he's so young, super young.
It's like what, 20, 21, something
Yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. Something like that. Okay, number 497, Mr. Iguana. Birthplace, Calacan, Mexico. Regular competitor for Triple A, where he entered the Lucha Fighter Men's Tournament. Captured KAOZ mixed tag titles with Reina Dorada. One of the few Mexican full timers to wrestle in the U.S. this year, competing in California and Texas. Fans love his Iguana Rana.
You still have to
Interesting.
find a way to get to Mexico at some point, Versace, eh?
We should. Have you watched any AAA? I mean, I know Lucha Brothers are from there. They were the tag champions. Do you watch any of that? Do you follow any of it?
I saw some of the Andrade Kenny Omega match that was down there.
Okay, okay.
They got Laredo Kid too.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to try to check some more out of it. I mean, I am a fan style of this kind of wrestling, so definitely have to check this out. I think I probably can on YouTube or something. I'm sure anything's possible nowadays on YouTube. Okay, number 496, Antonio Honda. Home Promotion DDT multi-time Ironman Heavy Metalweight Champion disarms opponents with comedic antics. Fared pretty well in DDT's Ultimate Tag League with Chris Brooks. Took part in last year's King of DDT tourney. Wears old school singlet, which may be the only old school thing about him. Wow, pretty cool. I'm gonna have to another person I'm gonna have to check out um and put on my list of like wrestlers to like look up and watch because I mean obviously we watch a
Especially
lot of wrestling
DDT and
disabled,
old
we go to a
school.
lot of shows, we watch a lot of promotions, but again we only cover most of the East Coast. We don't go into the West Coast too much, or if we do, it's only from guys that we've seen debut out here. There's no like exclusive promotions we cover on the other side of the country. So we should definitely start to expand and look into these things next year.
Definitely, I'm down next year.
As you've seen this year, I mean, I think we should stick to what I said. Not that any of these other promotions are bad or good. They're all great, but our beginnings in this was NCW, Limitless, Chaotic, and I think those should be our home bases to really
Absolutely, Versace. I
you know what
love
I'm
all
saying?
these free promotions.
keep it going, and then next year we'll start to expand more again, like we did this year. I mean, this year we expanded all the way to. We went to Camp Leapfrog. We went to We Are Wrestling, Violence and Suffering, all the way out at the H2O Center in Williamstown. We've
But
been
what a sauna that was.
New England All Stars. We've been to a bunch of them. We're gonna check out other promotions. I'm not saying we're just gonna stop all the wrestling, but those are gonna be the three main ones. I also want to look at it's called New England Gladiators, ran by Davey Cash there,
That's one I
and
really
that's
want to
supposed to be
check.
a really good
And
promotion.
I'm really sad, and I'd like to say a big thank you to Rip Bison and Delmi XO. Unfortunately, due to our issues, we weren't able to attend the inaugural Pro Wrestling Grind Show, which really breaks my heart. But
Oh yeah, I know. We had a really rough weekend. With a lot of missed shows and a lot of mishappenings and mishaps. We took a lot of losses. You know they we weren't able to go to any of the shows we were supposed to go to. And with that being said, though, I mean we will be back. We will be better than ever. Things were fixed today, but like I said, unfortunately, we did miss that opening debut show. We will get to that second one so we can get the coverage for them and show our support. And, and all the other shows that we missed this weekend. Okay, moving on to 495. Here's another personal favorite, someone we've all grown to love up in Maine, Charles Mason. Tagline:
ooh,
The root of all evil. Wrestling villain is part Charles Manson, part Patrick Bateman. Regular
our
competitor at
vampire,
Jersey
maybe.
Championship Wrestling, Maine's Limitless Wrestling, and Pennsylvania Premier Wrestling.
He
Upset
has a
Lee
weird
Moriarty.
stalkish prey
Upset
onto
Lee
Becca.
Moriarty in April 24 singles match. Found some success in Paradigm Pro early this year. Charles Mason is one of the greatest villains that wrestling has ever seen this decade. He comes in, he can make fans and little kids cry. That's
Oh,
something
he
you don't
yelled at a
see.
little girl in the first Limitless show, Patience in the Virtue. I won't forget that, Versace.
He did. He told that little girl that she's gonna grow up to be worthless like her father and mother, and it was hilarious. Like I said, you have your villains, you have your bad guys, and most of them are just comedic jokesters, pranksters, um, annoying. Not Mason. Mason, he will really make you feel uncomfortable. He's a heel throughout, and
He's
like I said,
become
one of the
best friends
best.
with the icon Ava Everett, too.
They tag up well. He did brutal attacks on Love Doug. And honestly, I can't wait to see what happens with him, as he can also be in like GCW and other promotions as well. Number 494, we actually got to see him well before the pandemic. He was the commissioner for BC Dub, none other, Swoggle.
Vince McMahon's legitimate child.
Authors, Life is Short and So Am I, held Black
Little
Label Pro
bastard
Tag Gold with
himself.
Dan Hausen and Ethan Page. Bested Roy Fox in inaugural Talking Shopper Mania. Competed in Collier Shot Gauntlet and Bound for Glory. Hold solo wins over Joey Janela, Ethan Page, and Mark Sterling in evaluation period. Plus, like you said, all his WWE work that they
He
can't
even
mention
stood
here.
up to the. He even faced the great Khali.
He has done it all. He is number 494 in the PWI 500. Still in it, still kicking after all these years.
Who knows? Maybe he's the anonymous GM of KPW. No one knows who runs that.
He could be. That is a very good possibility that he is that owner of KPW. Number 493, Anthony Amata. Birthplace, Trenton, New Jersey. Former Xavier Faraday, Viad for MidwestTerritory.com title against Chase Holiday. Made GCW debut tag bout against Otison and Barrow. Beat Yoya at Polyam Cult Party 3. Lost to O'Shea Edwards at Wrestlers Lab. Split Brutal Street Fight series against Shay McCoy with one win each. Do you know anything about Anthronamata, to say Wolf?
Not too familiar with him, Versace. I wasn't there at the show you attended where he competed, so I don't know too much about him. Sounds like a very fancy name and a very great move set.
Yeah, he was pretty impressive, I have to say. Not bad at all. Someone to definitely watch out for. You should always watch all these people on this list because they will be going places. Speaking of going places, this person I really believe has worked hard to make a name for themselves. It's someone I've watched personally on Facebook, really just kind of worked through everything, and that is number 492, Dylan McQueen. Trained by Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall, held
And
new
the
Cell
factory,
Tag.
eh?
Yep. Held new Cell Tag title for 210 days with Kenzie Page as Petty and Pink. Lost to Caesar Bonani on AEW Dark. Petty and Pink defended KFW Tag Team Gold against the International Superstars. Might benefit from joining Marshall's Factory stable. Gotta love this guy. Puts on a show. He's great in ring. Really has a great presence. Gotta love it. Have you watched any of his matches on AEW Dark at all or anything?
I have seen some on Dark. He looks very impressive, but he hasn't gotten too many victories yet. But give them time, they will shine. And someone out of Cody and QT's factory has always got to be on my radar, Versace.
Exactly. I mean, anybody trained by Cody is going to be coming out gold, I believe, and that's just like I said. That's number 492 there, though. Dylan McQueen. Number 491, Ryan Nemeth.
Oh,
Side
Wish Ziggler.
Side Hustle Paint Dogs. Wingman member went all elite in late January when he faced Hangman Page. Also competed on AEW Dark the same night. Hollywood Hunk racked up wins against Marco Stunt, Aaron Solo, and Fuego del Sol. His
He is
short
the
film,
younger brother of Dolph Ziggler, too.
his short film Heel recently premiered in Florida.
Let's see if he can be like his older brother and steal the show.
He might be able to in time. Who knows what can happen? Anything can.
Likes to party it out with the wingman and the former Liberian Pretty Peter Avalon and the blue collar badass JD Drake.
Pretty impressive, pretty wild. And like I said, like AEW has made a home for so many guys like if we were doing this 5 years ago, 6 years ago, we wouldn't even have to place for these guys on AEW. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Or if they went to the other company, their careers would be dictated or dead.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. It's sad to say, but it's true. Number 490, John West. Founder, Black Wrestlers Matter. Victorious at Black Wrestlers Matter 2 in a tag match with Con Artist against Moses and Raheem De La Suede. Tag team also wrestled Magnum Pro tag belts away from the coalition. Andy Journeyman has begun solid second act as a promoter. Interesting. I gotta definitely check that out. I haven't heard of Black Wrestlers Matter yet.
Well,
Sounds
that
something
sounds
like
like something we should check out for sure.
but definitely will. Though I'm gonna have to Google that or YouTube it. I don't see many posts about it, so I'm wondering where it's coming out of. Um, Meaning what state? Because it's not. I don't. It's not definitely from like Massachusetts or New England area. But we will look into that. And I always like to see when wrestlers like turn promoter because they've worked in the industry and then they're now like running their own show, and I think it gives them a different perspective on how they run their show. But Yeah, definitely. John West, number 490. We're definitely going to check him out. 489, Akira. Hometown Bringhurst, Indiana won Masters of Pain tournament in IWA East Coast. Challenged John Wayne Murdoch for ICW American Deathmatch title. Battled Homicide
That
and
is someone I
Tony.
want to check out, Versace.
Tell me about it. He battled Homicide and Tony Deppen. In addition to the hardcore bouts, Akira thrives as shoot style wrestling, defeating Cole Raddick in UWFI rules match for Paradigm Pro Wrestling. Paradigm Pro is a great company to check out. You should watch it if you haven't already, people. Akira, and a tremendous star. Um, and definitely check him out. He's sitting at 489 right now. And that, like I said, another guy is a great guy in that passage there is John Wayne Murdoch. But yeah, Akira definitely someone to watch. Number 488, the Boar, alias Proletariat Boar of Moldava. Survived loser eats dog food match at Camp Leapfrog with Erica Lay, Sonny Defarge, and Willow Nightingale. On winning side of Torino Cybernetico match at Fight Forever. Mass Powerhouse also competed for the LVAC and the IWTV Family Reunion. Did we see the Boar at Camp Leapfrog in the Scramble match? I can't remember.
I think we did. There are so many
There was
different
a bunch of
faces and
names in one of
multi-man
those
action
matches.
at
They just
Leapfrog.
kept bringing guys out. He sounds familiar.
Definitely does. There's a lot of random guys with move sets in Leapfrog, that's for
That was
sure.
one of the definitely yes, there is definitely that was one of the newer promotions that we found this year, and we went out and we checked out. We even sponsored it. Um, we had a good time in Jersey that day. But it is a good promotion. I do suggest everybody check out Camp Leapfrog. It is a good time at camp. Number
Abs-
487, Colby Carino. Family Tree, Steve Carino, father, second gen wrestler, made his 205 live debut against Mansoor. Bested Cool J to win the RCW Junior Heavyweight strap. Won Little Sebastian Memorial Tag Tourney with Nina to become PWF Unified Tag Champ. Also made appearances for the NWA and Game Changer Wrestling. What do you know about this guy?
that he's a game changer wrestling, and the fact that he's on 205 Live is pretty impressive that he's used somehow. He faced the Saudi Undertaker, Mansoor. How big could he get?
Oh no, for sure. For sure. And this is pretty impressive. Like I say, he's a second gen wrestler. His father, Steve Carino, Canadian wrestler, coming from a long line. Like I said, so I mean, someone definitely to keep an eye out. And anything out of GCW, these guys have really. After I go into that last show, I have to say, Game Changer Wrestling is probably your premier indie promotion.
I
Um,
am dying to go to a GCW
we will
show for
get
sure.
you out there. Okay, number 486. Kung Fu Janela. Family tree, Joey Janela's cousin. Alaska native, a pretty big deal in Alabama's New South Pro Wrestling. Traded New South title with Derek Neal. Defeated Chris Funk in a Buried Alive match. Competed on AEW Dark. Struggled in the UWFI rules bout for Paradigm Pro. A lot of these guys, Paradigm Pro keeps coming up. Definitely got to get more into that
I
promotion.
definitely have to for sure.
Did,
Are you
what do you know
sure this
about Kung
isn't
Fu
an
Janela? Because I
Eastman
know you're a big.
Bacabella type wrestler?
Well, I know you're a big Joey fan. So I mean, have you watched a lot of Kung Fu Janela?
I have not seen too much of Kung Fu Janela. Everybody kung fu fighting.
Someone we want to maybe watch, or maybe we'll see the Janelles compete.
Absolutely.
Interesting.
Are you sure it's not an Eastman Bacabella type person?
I don't know. Never know. It's in here though. It is in here as number 486. 485, Gringo Loco. Nickname the Base God, American born luchador, successfully defended the Galley Tag title with Golden Dragon multiple times, challenged Ace Austin and Madman Fulton for the AAW Tag Team titles with Trey Miguel, mixed it up with Mil Muertes and Rocky Romero on MLW Fusion.
Wow, Major League Wrestling is something I'd become a fond of with guys like Pillman, MJF, Halliday. I haven't really watched too much of it since the pandemic happened. I hate to say it, but I really need to look into MLW some more.
Yeah, it's definitely been like a really good promotion. And it's pretty cool. And I honestly I liked it. Like I said, I watched it a lot before that.
Yep,
Um, but we saw a lot of guys come out of there. I believe wasn't Brian Pillman Jr. out of there originally?
yep, Brian Pillman Jr., the most nice professional wrestler ever, who's nice to his fans, Mr. Maxwell Jacob Friedman,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course you got him, and you also
Richard
had
Halliday,
yeah, you had Richard Holiday. You had some other guys. Definitely something else we got to put on our radar.
Alex Hammerstone.
Yep. Number 484, Jason Strife. Best friend, the charismatic canine Yellow Dog, defeated Nicky Sent to become Rugged Pro Heavyweight Champ, battled Super Crazy in an Extreme Rules match, challenged Nick Aldis for the NWA World title in Omaha, won Magnum
Wow.
Pro Battle Royal Cup, and retained the AIWF Cruiserweight title against Ricky Marvin. This looks like he's definitely someone that's going to make it, in the years to come, already challenging the world champion of the NWA, Nick Aldis. That's pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Nick Aldis is an old school, old fashioned heavyweight wrestler.
He certainly is. Certainly is. Number 483, Aaron Hennar. Home promotion, New Japan Pro Wrestling. Auckland, Zealander is now a member of Will Ospreay's United Empire. Lost to Jay White in first round of 2021's New Japan Cup. Pinned Sonata in a tag match at Sakura Genesis. Teamed with Hiroshi Tanahashi in last year's World Tag League. Another promotion that we don't get to watch enough and learn enough about and cover enough is NJPW. We just don't have the time.
They first brought me into indie wrestling when Jericho did leave WWE to go there, and I watched a lot of Young Bucks, Kenny Omega,
I,
Shinsuke Nakamura.
I'll tell you, I did when the beginning of the pandemic when we had none. I subscribed to their channel for like a few months and really watched a lot of their old stuff. They had stuff dating back to even having Andre the Giant down there. And it's a really great promotion. It's better than WWE in my opinion as far as wrestling and the way that they actually wrestle. It's a premier company. American fans don't follow it because it doesn't have all the crazy storylines of drama that American wrestling has.
Their
But
wrestling is so amazing, but the promos and stuff is hard for me to understand, not gonna lie.
well, it is, and I think that's what loses the American fan base. A lot of the promos and stuff, and I mean they got the Bullet Club and all that, but it only drives so hard. and depending on which challenge, when they had the Young Bucks and all of them, it did a lot more. It went a lot more further.
That is very true, Versace.
So okay, so like I said there, though, we were at 483. Now we're gonna go to 482. Tristan Archer, Clement Pettiot has held the PWA European All-Star Championship since November 2019. Challenged Marius Al-Ani for West Side Extreme Wrestling Unified Wrestling title in June. Competed in WXW Catch Grand Prix 2020 tournament. Native of Northern France, recently appeared on NXT UK. What do you think about that one? You watch NXT UK, don't you, a little bit?
I did right before the pandemic. I was really into Mustache Mountain, Pete Dune, Tony Storm, Rhea Ripley. A lot of good people on that show. A lot of hard knocks, progress type of brawling style. It was really awesome until the pandemic hit. I don't know if NXT UK is still a thing.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Let me just see something right here. No, definitely, and something I just want to say though is I feel like with the way NXT has changed over from not even just 2.0, this had something prior to that. I feel like the UK version of it kind of got thrown away when NXT moved to TV.
I feel the exact same way, Versace. Oh yeah, you have Walter there too in Imperium.
Oh yeah, I mean you do, but I mean Walter should be on regular NXT and Imperium, and that should be they should just combine them at this point.
Absolutely not this Nickelodeon crap they got. But the one bright star about the new NXT is the reinvention of Mandy Rose, and you got former New England Indie legend Christian Casanova as Carmelo Hayes as a North American NXT champion.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. And now number 481, Petty Williams. Groundbreaker X Division returned to Impact at Hardcore Justice 2021 as Josh Alexander's tag team partner, defeated Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, and followed by a TJP. Became a key player in his former domain, the X Division. Impressed in first Ultimate X match in 2019. We just saw Ace Austin, didn't we?
I, oh yeah, we did in that chaotic.
Yeah, we did. But yeah, this guy seems pretty good. I don't get to watch as much Impact as I should be. Again, another promotion. I watched some of it over the pandemic. Got really good. They got a bunch of big pickups. When they WWE let people go, and then we saw
They
them kind of
started the
merge.
Forbidden Door.
Yeah, and then we saw them merge a little with AEW too. So we're seeing a lot of Impact right now. Definitely someone to keep my eyes on. Number 480, Don't Die Miles, alias Miles Morales, wore Asylum Wrestling Revolution tag belts with Freddie Hudson until a four-way doors, ladders, and chairs match. Challenged Myron Reed for PPW title and Trisha Dora for the Pan African World Diaspora Championship. Spirited young wrestlers scored wins over Jordan Oliver, Chase Holiday, and Gary J. Pretty, pretty accomplished there, I have to say, with the
That
wins over
is
those
quite the
people. Jordan
resume.
Oliver is a top class wrestler. Same thing with Chase Holiday, Gary Gray. And he did have that match with Trisha Dora. She is amazing. We saw her a few places beyond wrestling. We are wrestling. We would
She
have
was in
caught her.
First Blood against Becca too.
Yep, we could have caught her at Limitless Wrestling if we didn't have the issues. But yes, um, this guy looks really good. Sitting there 480. 479, Gino Medina. Home promotion, MLW. Reigning Bull of the Woods, VCW and RCW champion. Defeated Stephen Wolf in the number one contenders bout for the ROW TV title. Competed for the New Texas Pro Championship, challenging Mysterious Q, respectable 3-2 record on MLW Fusion during evaluation period. Again, another something we need to check on is that MLW, because all we will catch all these guys.
And Padagrium Pro Wrestling too.
Yep, Paradigm, definitely. Definitely. Number 478, Big Calix. Achilles heel. Irregular punctuation in tweets. Self proclaimed world biggest professional wrestler challenged Big Game Leroy for Invictus Empire Rising social media title and MB Young for Wrestlers Lab belt. One Camp Leapfrog's Monster Ball bout against CC Boost spotted paling around with Dr. Cube. Speaking of that,
Ooh.
that is where we saw him on Violence and Suffering with the Dr. Cube himself.
Cube is one vicious motherfucker.
Yeah, he is. I saw him also at Wrestler's Laboratory, and we saw Big
And we saw
Calix.
him at Leapfrog too, Big Calix.
Yes, we did. He is one of the. He's a great guy. He's a great person. When I first met him at the Wrestler's Lab, he gave me a big hug. He said, "Thanks for supporting Wrestling Inc. coming," and I bought a sticker and some things from him. He's really nice, really good, and he's really big. He is the biggest wrestler in the world, and
Wow.
hopefully we see more of him. Big things coming out of there.
Absolutely. I'd love to see Big Calix come to a New England promotion someday.
Yes, me too. I think he could do awesome. I would love to see him in Limitless. I would love to see him even like in NCW.
Him versus the Lumberjake would be amazing.
Oh my god, that'd be a great match. Great, great match. Hopefully we get, like I said, hopefully he reaches out. You know what kind of you know what I would actually even like to see? This is kind of like a dream match for the boys back home. Now hear me out. I know it's a little far fetched, right, brother? But look, you got
What?
Big Calix on one side against the almighty Havoc.
Oh, yeah.
You bring him down to Tiverton and let him fight Havoc in the cage for KPW. You know the
Will
kind of.
he be ready for Havoc?
Oh my god, would he be ready? I don't know. That's a good question for Big Calix. Next time he does that Big Calix show, we should ask him that. Would you be ready for Havoc?
Everyone's got to be asking themselves this question for the next, 30 plus days till the next event?
Oh, they will. I saw today that they posted on 12/11/21 KPW Havoc.
Well,
My
if it wasn't for, I guess the owner's ready for Havoc, Versace. A
He's
lot of
probably the
people
only
were,
one that is. I wonder if
who,
the owners will be there this time. They weren't there in the previous show. It was a very weird showing. When you
like
talk
that
about
guy
miss,
Brian. Like that guy Brian said, at least Bob Kraft shows up at all the Patriots games.
He does, but that's the thing about mysterious owners. Maybe the owner was there.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe he was there. Maybe we don't know what's going on. But that's for another episode. Those KPW boys. We will cover all that crazy action at some point when they do actually decide to air their footage. Um. Okay, let's move on to 477. Bad Luck Bale. Affiliation Bullet Club. New Japan trainer ends bouts with his bad luck fall. Former rugby player runs the New Japan Pro Wrestling New Zealand dojo with Tony Kunzina. Battled Toru Yano Bushi and Chase Owens for KOPW title in Wrestle Kingdom. Bested several tag teams alongside Owens and Yujiro Takashi. This guy sounds like a world traveler. He sounds amazing. Top
Anyone
notch
that has
wrestler.
Bullet Club next to their name does sound amazing, Versace.
They really do. They really do. Um, and he is someone I want to watch now bad. Especially that match they were talking with Bushi. 476, Cole Radrick, nicknamed Wildheart, held Paradigm Pro Wrestling Championship for 245 days on June 26. Won a four-way bout to become new Texas Pro Lone Star Champion. Battled Mike Bennett to draw in May earned number one contender slot for unsanctioned pro wrestling title after besting Lord Crew. Ooh, he battled Mike Bennett. We all remember him. He's also one of our great trainers. He's
New
helped
England
train a
indie
bunch of
legend,
New
too.
England talent. But yes, that is he's another one and another person from Paradigm that we need to check out. There's a lot of people we need to check out. I will be honest with you in this. We don't know. We think we know a lot, but we don't know a lot. There's a lot of people. There's
It's
a lot of
made me
wrestlers.
realize I have a lot more to learn about indie just when I thought I almost knew it all.
Yeah, just when you thought you knew everything, you know nothing. It happens, but we're gonna be okay. We'll get through it. We'll learn everything that we need to learn. Number 475, Vinny Pacifico, graduate of Ring of Honor Dojo, competed in a six-way scramble for a shot at the Pro Wrestling Magic's Dark Arts title. Challenged Darius Carter for WoW Championship in a triple threat. Defeated Chris Steeler to win King of New York 2020 tournament. Debuted on AE Dark against Woodlow. I believe I've seen this guy on Facebook as well. Nice as pie, dude. Really cool. Um, but yeah, I remember seeing his match actually against Wardlow. Great match.
Oh, wow.
Do you watch a lot of Dark Disable Wolf?
I've been behind the dark game for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It is a lot of episodes, a lot of matches, a lot of things
Yeah,
to
there's a
catch
lot of
up on.
talent they feature in Dark, but I watched almost every Dark until the pandemic hit and AEW stopped touring. I need to get myself back into it. Been watching Elevation a little bit, especially since they're in the former Impact Zone and Universal.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Number 474, Kita Murray, hometown Oso, and Steve Miggs to be. Wait a minute, that doesn't make no sense. Hold on here. Sorry. Start this again. 474, Keita Murray, hometown Scranton, Pennsylvania, defeated Drexel Jacob Oso and Steve Miggs to become inaugural without a cause stallion champion. Debuted for Washington staged Relentless Wrestling against Nick Wayne. West Coast staple regular competed on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood broadcast. Fell to Slice Boogie on Primetime Live. Sounds like someone that's really lively. That's that West Coast wrestling that we don't get to see a lot.
I've always
And
been dying to see some West Coast promotions.
someday, Wolf, we'll go to the West Coast. We've been slowly traveling. We'll travel westward. Go out to the West Coast, go out to California, check out some of their wrestling promotions. It will be a good time. Go to Colorado, too. You know, Versace Stoner would love to go to Colorado and the other weed like friendly states.
Rocky Mountain High,
Oh,
full
I
of
will be Rocky
comedic
Mountain High.
geniuses.
Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Number 473, Zombie Dragon. Alter Ego. Trainer for China's Middle Kingdom. Hold on. What does this say here? Zombie Dragon. Alter Ego. Curry Kid. Flagship competitor and head trainer for China's Middle Kingdom Wrestling. Held MKW Championship for entire evaluation period. Successfully defended title 16 times prior to pandemic. Competed in Thailand for setup. Signature moves include Octopus Hold, Dragon Sleeper, and Guillotine Leg Drop. We gotta check this guy out too. Write him down, Wolf. Zombie Dragon. Alter Ego, Curry Kid.
Ooh.
Number 472. Jaden Newman. Hometown. Chattanooga, Tennessee, competed in the four-way finals of RCW's Best of the Best tournament. Qualified for New South's Heart of Southern 16 Horse Tournament. Faced Daniel McCarr for IWTV Family Reunion. Appears regularly for TWE Chattanooga. Defeated Rock C for Crab Wrestling. U.S. title in April. What is this IWTV Family Reunion? Was it like their show before IWTV 100?
Could have been. I think it might have been a pandemic show, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I just hear a lot about it. It sounds like it was a good show. I gotta try to find it on IWTV. Um, Pretty cool stuff. Like I said, I did like the show we went to at the H2O Center. 471, Alice Crowley. Hometown Indianapolis, IWA Tag Champ with Becky, Idol Punk Rock Princess, competed for the IWA Women's title against Jessie Bell Smothers. Reached the Ted Petty Invitational semifinals after beating Smothers and Billy Tipton. Announced she's taking time off to rehab an elbow injury and return to school. Can't knock that. Once you're injured, sometimes it's very hard to get back into it. And if you can't get back into it, you might as well learn. You might as well learn. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, Versace.
You might as well learn. Okay. Moving on now. Number 470. Freddie Hudson. Hometown Tampa, Florida, defeated Yoya to win the Midwest Territorial.com title. Unseated Cole Radrick for the Paradigm Pro Wrestling Championship at Heavy Hitters 2 appeared in Epic Wrestling Entertainment's Brass Monkey Tournament and UWFI Rules Super Middleweight Grand Prix. 1/3 of Shooters Don't Die group. Another
Ooh.
top notch wrestling superstar. Number
Wow.
469, Gregory Iron. Side hustle, inspirational speaker. Member of the hated 440H. Group is far less detestable away from the ring. Won the H2O Hybrid Championship from Mouse regular GCW competitor. Competed in 2020 Garden Royal State Invitational and GCW's Cluster. Battle Royal reigned as ECW Tag Champion with RJ City. Sounds like another great wrestler. I don't believe I saw him at Fight Club, but I definitely have caught him at other GCW shows. Number 468, Janaya Kai. Secret Weapon. Black belt in Taekwondo after falling to Karen Tran at Bloodsport 6. Rebounded to win CFU Shoot to Thrill tourney in June. That's where we were supposed to go, the CFU show.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's when the car troubles all began. Anyways, fought to time limit draw with Yoya, with whom she sometimes tags with. Holds wins over Travis Huckabee and Jordan Blade. We saw her out in
We Are Wrestling, right?
We Are Wrestling, and didn't we
And
see her in
Leapfrog.
Leapfrog?
Yeah.
And I believe I seen her in Wrestler's Laboratory too. Um, Very impressive, very great wrestler. One of my favorites. You can see the martial arts in it. As she wrestles in her style, you can definitely see she has the real martial arts background. Number 467, Show. Specialty Junior Heavyweight Tag Competition. Reunited with YOH in March to reform Roppongi 3K. Reclaim the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Belts not long after. Participated in 2020 New Japan Cup. Impressed in the 2020 Best of Super Juniors tournament, ending with 7 wins and 2 losses. Not bad at all for number 467 Show. Number 466, Yo-Ya.
Oh yeah.
Legit MMA background. Promising young newcomer competed in Polyam Cult Party 3 against Anthony Amada. Defeated Chase Holiday to claim the Midwest Territory.com chain. Used grappling skills against Leo Rush at Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. Shooter beat Boomer Haddonfield and Jordan Blade in Matt Makowski's Frog Sport 20. Yo-Ya is one of the best right now
Oh,
out there.
absolutely. He's in like every New York promotion with his martial arts fighting style. I can't miss spectacular when you go see him.
Really is. We were lucky that we got to see him alive. I feel like 'cause it's not something we do get to see here in mass too much. Number 465, Doc Simmons, self-proclaimed greatest heavyweight of all time, regular competitor for Zoa Live, two-time Zoa Fireweight champ, two-time Brew City Wrestling Heritage champion, one half of the Country Air duo, defeated Darian Bangston in singles match at Black Wrestlers Matter 2, debuted a new podcast, growing presence on Midwest scene. We're going to have to check out his podcast.
Absolutely.
And again, that Black Wrestlers Matter. We got to check out that as well. Another wrestler coming out of that. Very interesting. This should be very good. I'm gonna go take a little break for a second. Just say, well, why don't you tell them about all the action that's gonna be coming up on the Wolf Sportscast and everything else that will be taking place, and talk about the weekend plans of what we have coming up on Wednesday and Friday of this week.
Okay, Versace. The Beantown Sports Wolfcast will be in full of force by the end of the week. I still got behind due to my issues. We got the Patriots almost coming and beating the most marketable team of the league, the Dallas Cowboys, who's an overtime heartbreaker, but they bounced back. They got the training wheels off, and they spanked the fucking New York Jets so badly. Their quarterback got hurt. And will the Pats be able to carry their momentum this Halloween against the Los Angeles Chargers? And the Red Sox have exceeded expectations, but unfortunately, they won't be the second wild card team to punch their ticket to the Fall Classic with the Atlanta Braves as they fall short to the Houston Astros with their offense failing to get the hits in Houston as their pitching really struggled in games 4 and 5. I will recap the season expectations of the whole Red Sox. They did a great job. With a lot of them didn't even expect them to get past last place. And you got the Boston Bruins and Boston Celtics back in action. I will try to talk about them once a week, recapping the games in the prior week and previewing the next few games. That will be a weekly Wolfcast thing. I'm going to try to do each team separate for the rest of the year. I'm going to aim for the Patriots on Mondays, the Celtics on Thursdays, and the Bruins on Fridays to cover all their games. There is so much Boston sports going on and so much indie wrestling. It is so hard to balance both. The Versace Stoner is huge into wrestling and horror, like I am wrestling and sports, as I would like. And we got AEW in Boston finally. Finally, after 18 months, we're gonna see the debut of CM Punk on Dynamite. He never wrestled on Dynamite, just Rampage and All Out. We also got John Moxley competing in our area, and we got a 4-on-4 with the Elite and Dark Order. They promise a stacked show, and it is worth the wait to save those tickets. I cannot wait to go. We will be also handing out flyers. Believe it or not, folks, the VSW podcast is finally going to be able to drive or walk to a show, as Chaotic will be hitting the Sons of Italy in Watertown, there where the Wolf used to work at his ice rink at his first job as a PA announcer. You'll also see Anthony Green in action. You'll see Lifting. You'll also see Davey N defend her title against Mike Verna. You got Dirty Dango, formerly known as Fandango, competing against Ricky Smokes. You got Brad Cashew defending his title, New England title against Impact legend Eddie Edwards. You got a bunch of fun stuff planned in the VSW homecoming of Chaotic, which we've been handing out flyers as you go through a few streets. So much to more. All coming up on the VSW. You got Smokeout coming up. And when those KPW crazy ass guys, finally owners, when are they gonna get their shit together and give Versace the footage? I wasn't there, the Wolf wasn't there. Maybe I will be ready for Havoc. Who the hell knows? Lots coming up on the VSW podcast. As always, keep your eye out with the latest social media information. And thank you all for listening to the Wolf Rant.
Well, there you have it, folks. A lot of great things coming up on VSW. Okay, so where were we here? We were at 464. Timmy Lou Renton, hometown Raleigh, North Carolina, infinite man and accomplished gymnast, resigned as AML Wrestling Prestige Champion, defended that title against Chris Bay, competed at River City Wrestling Con in Jacksonville, faced Joe Black at Viral Pro Wrestling, former Jim Nasty Boy, May AEW debut in August. Do you remember seeing him on AEW?
I actually have not Versace.
Me neither, but someone now to look out for. Number 463, Eli Esom. Graduate Ring of Honor Dojo competed in four-way match at Ring of Honor's 19th anniversary show. Whole singles victories over LSG and Ray Horace defeated fellow dojo graduate Dak Draper in the first round of Ring of Honor Survival of the Fittest. Made GCW debut in a seven-man scramble. Another person to look out for. Another person that's going to be the future of this industry.
Oh, wow.
You know, these people, you see them back in the back pages now, and in a couple of years they'll be number, in the low hundreds. Number
Absolutely, Versace.
462. Number 462 is Dmitry Alexandrov. Special skill bear fighter, self-proclaimed as Vladimir Putin's least favorite wrestler, two-time Metroplex Wrestling Champion, defended MPX Championship against ACH, All-Star Pro Champion for 84 days, competed for New Class Wrestling Championship against Kurt Gannon and Maddox Jones, fell to Paro in a June 12th death match. Another death match fighter. Gotta give
Ooh,
love to that. Excited. I saw that match that he had on June 12th. That was a good match. I'm a big fan of Paro, so it was a good fight. Number 461, Wolf. Jamie
yes, Wolf.
Senegal. Hometown Reading, Pennsylvania. Debuted in 2015 with Atomic Championship Wrestling. Named as second participant in the NWA Empower Women's Invitational. Punk Rock Queens wrote a guest feature for PWI early this year, inspired by Ashley Massaro, Melina, Jeff Hardy, and
Ooh,
Edge. Has wins over Alley Cat and Ace Austin.
that's another name to look up, Versace.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Number 460, Ryan Davison. Side Hustle Podcasting. Another podcast. I love it. Gotta check it out. Leisure and Lariats. That's the name of it, I'm guessing. Ruthless Texting has golden 12 months reigning as champion of Hurricane Pro, Booker T's Reality of Wrestling twice, and Louisiana's Wildcat Pro Wrestling. Both wins over Brian Keith, Mike Bennett, and Fuego del Sol during the evaluation period. Pretty cool. We'll have to check out that podcast for sure. I love listening to the wrestlers' podcasts.
Absolutely, we gotta help the podcast industry out as much as we can.
Of course, of course. Number 459, Lonnie Lorcan. Hometown, Boston, Massachusetts.
Oni Larkin, baby.
Hell, the
The man who
NXT
types
tag.
in all caps.
Hell yeah. I actually, I met him when we went to NXT that time.
He was cool as shit.
Um, Held NXT Tag Gold with Danny Burch in 2021. Had to vacate title after Burch suffered a separated shoulder. Pivoted to tagging with Pete Dunne in the interim. Singles losses to Kyle O'Reilly and Karrion Cross. Remained a standout in-ring performer. Nonetheless, he is great. He's great on social media. He's great on Twitter. Give him a follow. He is Lonnie Lorcan. Gotta love him.
Oh
Number
yeah,
458 is Area Daivari. Finishing move Magic Carpet Ride. WWE 205 Live mainstay was released as part of budget cuts in June. Final match was losing efforts against Eichmann Jiro and teamed with Tony Nese to defeat Ari Sterling and Asher Hale before release. Reliable worker will surely land on his feet. Let me ask them, didn't we see Area Daviari somewhere?
yes we have.
Where?
We saw him on 205 Live. We saw him on one of the tapings we went to a long time ago on SmackDown.
We saw him in WWE.
Yeah,
So he hasn't hit the indie scene yet then.
not much, no.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought we saw him somewhere on the indie scene, but you're probably right. It must have been one of those house shows.
Yeah, not that I know of on TV though.
Interesting. Number 457, another great person in this industry. Um, didn't get to see him live. He was actually pulled from card, but got to give him a lot of support. And that is number 457, Mr. Grimm, trained by Matt Wild. Spent months chasing the Enjoy Cup title on Enjoy Canned Heat Series. Lost tournament semifinal to MB Young in March, but came back to defeat Cup winner Lee Moriarty in June. Defeated Chase Holiday at Young Polyam's Cult Party 3. He's also holding gold, I want to say, in another
Wow.
promotion as well. I'm going to look it up right now here. Why I can. Why I can is why I can. Um, Hold on now. I have to see here. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I want to say he is the 1CW champ still. Um, I believe he is. I know we're friends on Facebook and I believe we're friends on Twitter as well. But yeah, I believe he's the 1CW champ as well. I didn't mention that. But number
Wow.
456, Derek Neal, hometown Bowling Green, Kentucky, three-time New South Wrestling champion after dropping title to Cabana Man Dan and winning it back a week later in a leather strap match. Their rivalry is a recent highlight of Southern Pro Wrestling. Also earned a win over Warhorse at SLA Circus Maximus 2021. We saw
Ooh.
Warhorse at the IWTV 100.
I was so happy to see the guy wrestle live.
Oh yeah,
He
legend,
rules
legend,
ass.
legend. Guy's a legend. Number 456, Derek Neal, hometown Bowling Green, Kentucky. Oh no, that's the one we just read. 455, JDX, nicknamed the Real McCoy, Chicago native and indie journeyman, dropped RCCW City of LA Cross Championship to Jason Masters, but remained PWP Breakout Champion. Fought a frontman job for the Black Wrestlers Matter title in June. Also appeared on AEW Dark in a singles bout against Sean Dean. This is another Black Wrestlers Matter person that I've heard about. Like I said, I gotta Google this. I gotta look at it. This is gonna be great. And all these guys, like I said, new talent that we haven't really seen before. Number 454, Thielman, hometown Berlin, Germany. The former Medahan underwent name change upon being signed to WWE NXT UK in March, was well established in WXW, serving as Shotgun Champion until December 31st. Debuted in NXT UK with a six-man match winning streak, earning victories over Danny Jones, Ashton Smith, and Oliver Carter. Have you seen him over there? Did we lose the wolf?
Yep.
Oh. Are you still with us, Wolf, or are you sleeping?
The wolf is in his own little world, Versace.
Oh, I see that's never a good thing.
Ooh.
Okay, now we're at 453. Killer Kelly. Signature move, super kick. Had promising U.S. career kicking off in 2020, taking part in Josh Barnett's Bloodsport Women's Tournament. Also competed for Impact Challenge WXW Shotgun Champ Medahan Thielman for his title. Scored singles wins over Golden Boy Santos 2021, activity limited due to travel restrictions. Gotta check it out. Check it out.
Absolutely. That's a name that's been hitting on my Twitter feed a lot is Killer Kelly. He's been doing a lot of wins, a lot of victories. He's been all over the country, I feel like.
Hell yeah. And that Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, there's another one coming up. That's a pretty big deal. We'll have to try to cover that and watch it on Fight. Number 452, Brett Eisen, home promotion, Resolute Wrestling. Had a big year in his home promotion, reclaiming the Resolute Undisputed title in April and also earning tag gold with Caleb Courageous in May. Scored wins over Joshua Bishop, Dylan, and Aaron Wade on New South's Action Clash Series.
Oh, wow.
We got 451. Madman Fulton. Build height 6'8". Though seen primarily in tag competition and Impact, Fulton had his fair share of singles matches as well, reigned as Battle on the Border heavyweight champion. also held the AAW Tag Team titles with Ace Austin before losing it to Second Gear Crew in May. Second Gear Crew is one hell of a tag team. Saw them at GC Dub. They were actually challenged, though, by the Briscoes. That's going to be a war.
That's gonna be awesome.
And the last person to close up this first episode of our PW 500 special will be number 450. Zicky Dice, nicknamed Outlandish, held the NWA TV title before dropping it to the Pope last October. Only wrestled 13 matches due to COVID restrictions. For No Peace Underground, fell to Otison in a singles bout. Colorful Grappler also lost to Lance Archer on AEW Dark. I'm a big Zicky Dice fan. I think he's a great wrestler.
Absolutely.
But that will conclude our episode for tonight. We have, well, 450 more wrestlers to talk about. That was just the last 50. So, coming at you tomorrow night, same place, same time. We'll be here to go through the next 50, and we will do the same every night this week, minus Wednesday and Friday when we will be at Wrestling Wednesday at
Whoever
AEW.
thought we'd have shows very close to us, Versace?
Exactly. Wednesday at AEW, we will not be airing an episode of our PWI 500, and neither will be on Friday. We will be at Chaotic Wrestling live from Watertown, Massachusetts. But we will be resuming this again Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all the way until it is done for this PW 500 special. So please stay tuned, check out, listen. Maybe you'll hear your name be called if you made the list this year. We'll also talk about at the end some notable mentions and some people that maybe we think should be on the list. And you know what I mean, Disabled Wolf? There's a bunch of people we know that should probably have made this list.
Plenty of people, Versace.
But we'll get into that all on later episodes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight, though, as we again covered numbers 500 through 450 of the PWI 500. It has been my pleasure. Your host, the Versace Stoner, alongside
With the Disabled here.
with this special edition of VSW Podcast. Have a great night.